Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Antigonus Gaming with Metaphor Refantazio. We just recruited Junah to our party, and Glodell is dead. We have risen into the top 20 ranks in the candidate rankings. So we are now under the protection of the King's magic. Unfortunately, the parchment we found with part of the curse on it in Luis's ship was incomplete, and even Saint Rella, the greatest healer in Uchronia, could not use it to undo the curse. So we are going to need to find another way to undo said curse. We're back on the Gauntlet Runner, and we're going to go to bed for tonight. We are firmly in Luis's service, at least for the time being, as double agents, and he's told us that he's fine with us to just hang out in Brylehaven for a while until the next part of the tournament is announced. So we're gonna get some rest.
Good night.
Late night, August 13th. I'm finding it hard to sleep. As good as time as any for some reading, I guess. So our character is reading the book in his little cubby, and Junah walks by.
You're still awake.
She's standing out in the halls. We're laying in the cubby. I'll say, something on your mind?
Something on your mind?
No, not in particular. Once we're back tomorrow, I'll sneak the formula back into Luis's room. Even if he suspected us, he'd never work out that we got to the capital and showed it to Rella in a single night. He won't find out about our mission.
I should probably have Junah return any Magla keys we got on the Caradrius too, just to be safe. I'll give them to her later.
You know, I'm a bit surprised. I thought I was fine doing all that infiltration at Luis's place. Turns out I wasn't. Finally having others who know the truth, and having gotten to see my sister, I didn't realize how exhausted I am. And you personally saved me from danger back there. I'm terribly grateful to you. You're lucky, really. I'll have you know I'm rarely this candid. That's the forbidden text you mentioned in Luis's room, is it? I've seen him reading it from time to time. What's it like? Can I read a bit of it?
Our character's reading his novel, and we open up.
The prevailing culture of the world is one of freedom in all things.
So we see three different pictures. One is of a woman, dancing. There's some kind of light in the background. Another one is a character writing a book, and you can see it looks like some kind of either window or crowd or something. And then there's a third one on the left. It looks like someone painting something.
No faith, fealty, or philosophy enforces ideology. All are free to create, and all are free to embrace those creations. This culture's influence spreads throughout the world. It is even said that a song of peace was powerful enough to bring an end to war. How inspiring. It's hard to imagine that a single song could be so influential. I wonder what the world would be like if a song really could reach all people's hearts, no matter their status or tribe. We Nydia, we're all liars, you know. Everyone told us we were inherently worthless, just a fact of our birth. So I learned some glamours to make myself at least look valuable. This form, it's all just a fancy disguise, really. A gilded mask for the world to admire. Or not. No, do forgive me. That was all lies, lies, lies. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to reveal yourself entirely. But you should always have the freedom to. If these new powers are to give form to my ideals, I want to create a world where we can appreciate each other's freedom. I'll make sure everyone hears that in my songs. No matter what happens.
I wonder if the passage from this book is a reference to the Christmas truce. If anyone doesn't know that story, in the first year of World War I, on the Western Front, a German soldier sung a Christmas song, and I think it was a German soldier. It was the Germans on one side and the British on the other, and one side started singing Christmas songs, and the other side, when the guy stopped, screamed over to have the guy keep singing, and eventually both trenches were singing, and then the soldiers were out celebrating Christmas in no man's land, and they had a truce for several days, and it enraged the officers, and every year after that in the war, they made sure the soldiers were not interacting on Christmas to prevent such a thing from ever happening again, because they were trying to get the armies to really hate each other. I wonder if this book is referencing that, because that was started with a Christmas song. I don't know exactly if there's another story in real history that ties back into song like that, but when Junah said that, it made me think about that story that I heard once when I was listening to a podcast about the history of World War I. It's a famous war moment. It says, Junah and I talked into the night.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
August 14th.
Now
we got Batlin on the stage in Grand Trad.
Next challenge. Let's find
Oh no, actually,
out where our fierce competitors are bound.
Actually, no, I think he's still here in Brylehaven.
To
It's the
recap,
cathedral, the arena
20
in the background.
candidates with the current highest approval on the King's Rock will be the only ones to proceed. All others will be disqualified. I'd say the results of the exhibition are sure to have spread by now. Let's have a look at the standings, shall we? In first place, the undisputed winner, bane of sea monsters and savior of the people, our very own Sanctifex Forden! And the traitor Luis in second, despite not actually being in the race. But in third, we have the warrior monk captain, Master Guido! Furthermore,
in the end, everyone but Luis is just representing the Sanctus Church.
What's your point? I dare say that's a relief. We'll finally be done with all this chaos. A return to normalcy.
Ha! Normalcy. Funny how it's only the rich who miss how things used to be. But now Count Luis has the people behind him. He'll save the common man.
yes, we're all keeping our ears out for a response from Luis's faction. But we do have one standout who's seen a stunning jump in popularity since the exhibition. The lad responsible for exposing the sins of the Sanctoress Joanna. Valiant human slayer. Yes, it's the young elder.
Right! Wasn't expecting that one. Nameless to famous in a single night. Just like that, he's in the top 20.
Oi, crier man, where's the windbag? The one what acted all high and mighty over a tiny human head.
Who? Oh, right, that Gladel or something. No sign of him, probably saw the writing on the wall and dropped out.
So it really was all talk then? A disgrace to the Rusum, hiding his inadequacy behind Luis's authority.
But the boy candidate isn't the only one in the spotlight. We've a rising star by the name of Katharina. Some big ideas, that girl. I hear she plans to put a price on every wealthy head if she takes the throne.
And what's wrong with that? If they're sitting on most of the kingdom's money, they can afford to hire a little extra security every day. Let them sweat it out.
Now here's a surprise. We've got a Mustari candidate still in the running. And my sources say they hail from, well, Virga Island.
A pagan island, but they're filthy barbarians. Besides, nobody could compare to Lord Milo.
The final roundup's actually looking pretty diverse. We're just about ready to announce the next leg of the race.
Got a bell ringing here. We got the 20 candidates who made it are now in the Coliseum.
And that's the bell! Thank you for waiting, ladies and gents. It's time to begin the second round of the Tournament for the Throne! First of all, congratulations to the 20 who have won their places on the King's Rock. You are now officially the winners of the first round. Let's give them a hand!
No sign of Luis. Even if he does plan to take over, suppose he's still not eager to play by their rules.
I haven't seen Junah this morning either.
I heard some nobles say she had a job suddenly come up. Better that the audience doesn't see her with us, anyway.
Now, at long last, we are ready to announce their next challenge. This time, the task for the candidates is recovering and offering a divine relic!
What? A relic?
It's the Mustari candidate, the one that has the, like, chess piece-shaped helmet.
Don't worry, we're happy to explain everything. You'll not want to forget this, so we've arranged for you to hear it from an unforgettable voice. To tell us more, please welcome to the stage our guide, our songstress, the lovely Lady Junah!
Junah's back in her performance dress and has, like, the hair all the way out and all the pigtails.
Her sudden obligation revealed, I suppose.
Chosen heroes! Your next destination is Altaberry Heights, the capital of the Principality of Montario. You are to gather there by the deadline, with a divine relic in hand to offer the Sanctus Church. Tragically, there are still heathens in this land who choose to reject sanctism. They care nothing for salvation. They cling to strange idols, calling them divine relics, believing them gifts from their eldritch gods. But their rituals are unstable, and their relics just primitive magic tools. It is time we put an end to this misguided witchery. Take these relics from the pagan's grasp and bring them to the birthplace of sanctism, Altaberry Heights, in Montario.
I guess Forden and Godot were there after all. They're like sitting on a throne. It's in a separate part of the arena. So we've got about 15 or 16 of the candidates all lined up together, and then you've got Forden and Godot off to the side, and Luis, who said clearly he has no interest in, participating, but he's gonna participate on his terms. He's not there.
Please deliver them to their rightful place in God's hands. May all our aspiring heroes be blessed with good fortune and the favor of God. I pray for your success.
What a real presence before a crowd, doesn't she? Positively plucks at your heart.
Oh. Focus, Iceland, focus.
By the deadline of the second round, Altaberry will begin the festivities for the autumnal Montario Saints' Day. This two-day event kicks off on Saints' Day Eve, with the main celebrations on the day proper. And this year's event will be historic. His Eminence, Sanctifex Forden, will be personally sealing the collection of the pagan relics. To celebrate, the songstress Junah will be dedicating a ceremonial song. You won't want to miss this, folks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on my mark, let the second round of the Tournament for the Throne begin!
They're unabashedly ordering them to steal relics from pagan land now. That's plunder. They would steal our very culture.
That candidate's a Mustari. Small wonder he's so aghast. Forden's stooping to a new low.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
By and large, the Mustari are a pagan people. Their relics are cultural touchstones, vital to their hearts and faiths. And Forden's just ordered us to loot them as we please.
But in our case, we won't even know what we're doing until Luis gives the order.
Either way, we're bound for Altaberry. It's further east. We've a long trip ahead of us.
Oh, my shoulder hurts. I don't care if it's the Crown Theocracy. You'd think they'd ask me a little sooner than the morning of.
Still managed to put on a hell of a show for him. Lady Junah, Count Luis has sent for you. And you lot too, I suppose.
Looks like our first job's come in.
These men have me running all over. We're back, Lord Luis.
Funny, isn't it? Since the Gladel incident, you've been inseparable from this gang.
Well, one has to keep one's chauffeur in line, don't you think?
Hey, heard you got a gig at the Sanctus Festival? Good on ya!
Thanks. Though I don't know if it's worth celebrating. Seems to me it's to keep Lord Luis in check. Putting me on stage the whole time might keep you from crashing their Saint's Day party.
And if we try anything, they'll use it as an excuse to blacklist you. Just the kind of shite you'd expect from those Sanctist stooges.
We're in Luis's office, by the way. He's sitting on his chair with his fist and his head resting on his fist, as always.
You need fear nothing. It is Forden who now stews in his dread. That he seeks the divine relics is common knowledge. But who would simply give up an idol on par with the god's reverence? He has all but commanded that we take it by force. The king's magic ruined his schemes. You humiliated him in the public eye. And in one desperate final grasp for authority, the fool has placed his fate in my hands. Forden's game will soon end. Let us at least give him the finale he deserves.
What are you pointing to?
What are you planning to do?
What? Do you need to hear it repeated? I will give Forden his death.
And what of the king's magic?
You'll see soon enough. For now, you need only follow my orders. Your task is to obtain a certain divine relic on my behalf. The artifact in question is a lance known as Drakodios.
Drakodios. The Draco implies something to do with dragons, I presume?
Suffice to say, the lore behind this particular relic intrigues me. You will acquire it in time for Saint's Day, and bring it to me.
Pretty high stakes, my lord. You sure you want this crop of novices on the job?
Rest assured, my other agents have their own relics I've assigned them to pursue. I've no urgent need for this lance, nor for them, should they fail.
I'll go along and keep an eye on them, shall I? You can bet that if they try and run off with the relic, I'll put a stop to it.
You certainly are attached to them, aren't you?
Well, it's their first formal assignment in your service, after all. I can be your eyes and ears.
So be it then. You may act accordingly.
So, my lord, where can we find this fancy lance?
Find your clues elsewhere. You have nothing further from me. Prove you think as well as you fight. May we both find success in the pursuit of our shared vision.
Well, we're back at the end, so the only thing we know for sure is called Drakodios.
All right.
I guess we'll have no choice but to go somewhere else and try to gather more information.
Well met, eh? Wonderful.
Doesn't have
Cooperation.
All right.
What now?
Oh, I can go talk to more. Okay.
What am I gonna do? Eh? Grand, innit?
Wonderful.
I'm correct. I need to find that Mustari candidate.
Hey! Hey!
Alright, I guess I need to... Oh, you know what? There's the Mustari. No, she's not. Sorry, no, I don't know anything. I'm busy. So.
Wait a second!
Okay. You know, for a popular candidate, your information gathering methods are awfully amateur. Did you speak to anyone else?
What do you think you're playing at?
You can't just talk to a couple people and expect to find what you're looking for. Put in some legwork. Talk to everyone. Don't be picky. With all that said, you should choose a place you search carefully. There are plenty of working people too busy to give you the time of day. If it were me, I'd set off for a tavern and ask patrons to relax in there now.
What? Dear me.
Okay, well, I guess then we should go to the tavern.
What am I gonna do, eh?
Aha!
You're not serious.
So we're back in the restaurant.
Hey, I beg your pardon, but you
Don't
have
you?
business with me.
What? I'm a customer of this tavern. I have no obligation. You want to know something? It's common sense to ask an employee first.
I'm just incredulous.
Hey, listen.
I guess we'll ask the lady at the counter.
Huh?
Can I help you? I have a question. Divine Lance, not sure I'm the best person to ask about that sort of thing. No, wait, someone outside was rambling on about that just a bit ago. Had a large mask on, must have been a Mustari. He seemed awfully bothered about it. He was bothered about the Lance, sounds like he may know something. Any idea where he went? I believe he mentioned something about taking a boat to the island. He must be headed towards the coast by the Merchant's Bazaar, wouldn't you say?
so...
We hurry, might be able to catch him. Let's head for the Merchant's Bazaar.
Hey, listen.
I'm just incredulous.
Wonderful.
Beg pardon?
What am I gonna do, eh?
Grand, innit?
How's it going? You got it.
Bazaar.
What is it?
Wonder if I could have been one of
So we have to find the guy with the
Young man.
like the big mask that looks almost like a...
Young man! Young man!
Now what am I to do? You're not...
Whoa!
There he is. Hey, it's Mustari over there. So we found the Mustari candidate. He's got the staff and like the orange cloak.
I can't believe this. He would have them all take what they please. This same atrocity all over again. Damn him. And damn his crown theocracy.
He's in quite a state. Though I can hardly blame him, with everyone ordered to ransack his homeland. For now, how to approach him?
So I can say, sorry, I dropped the controller there. Sorry, I want to ask you something. They've really crossed the line, or why don't we team up? So they've really crossed the line.
They've really crossed the line.
Wait. You're not with the Sanctus Church. One of the few who aren't, it seems.
I don't know much about divine relics, but I know all too well what it's like to see your homeland threatened.
The divine relics are symbols of our faith. More than that, they are the soul of our culture, our history.
Followers of the old native beliefs worship idols that are known to conduct magic, which they call divine relics. But unlike the igniters of modern times, they are primitive in make and function, and often dangerous. So said my studies, at least.
Oh, far from it. Divine relics aren't primitive in the least. That's just Sanctus propaganda. Really, it's the opposite. Most of these relics are powerful beyond belief, and igniters are just our crude imitations of them. If you'd ever seen one yourself, you'd know the difference. They don't call them divine for nothing. With powers like that, they might as well have come from the gods.
You're that songstress. Didn't expect to hear all this from you, after what you said for the crowd.
Well, a job's a job. But as I'm sure you're aware, pagans aren't the only ones oppressed by the church.
You really are well informed. And it sounds like you know something of oppression. Did you perhaps come from the Mage Academy?
Details, darling. I've seen abuse of powers before, and I'd rather not see it again.
The other candidates seem bent on taking relics by any means necessary. But you all seem different.
We're down by the harbor, by the way. That's
to be fair, we are looking for one. The only relic we know by name right now is Drakodios.
The Lance of the Dragon God? So that's why you came up to me. I suppose anyone would want our homeland's greatest treasure. The Lance is no secret we're trying to hide. Truly, I hope mainlanders come by the scores to see it. Our village is on an island in the World Tree's embrace, where the Dragon God sleeps. On a clear day, you can see it from this land.
An island across the ocean. You mean Verga Island, then? It is a large island in the inland sea. Most of its inhabitants are Mustari, and it remains the only place in the land where sanctism has not taken root.
I'm not out to abolish sanctism myself. I just don't want everything we believe in to be destroyed.
So that's why you're in this race.
I thought I could change the world. And then I saw the truth. What a fool I was. I've not introduced myself yet, have I? My name is Edeni. Take my advice. Forget about Drakodios. We can't hand it over, and you'll never reach it anyway.
But I could say, what do you mean, or we'd never take it by force?
What do you mean? No ship would carry you there, among the first of many reasons. Even so, it's no place for an outsider. It's time I stopped chasing a fool's dream. I need to face reality. And if you're smart, you'll do the same.
Well, sounds like Drakodios is on Verga Island somewhere.
Is there really no ship passage there? This is the biggest port in the kingdom.
'Tis true. His words reminded me. Thanks to both sea currents and cultural tensions, the only merchant ships passing Verga Island embark from Montario.
But Montario's on the other side of the bloody sea. You can't seriously be suggesting we go there first and then loop back to Verga. We'd never make the deadline.
Then let's bally well conquer this inland sea ourselves. Don't worry, chums. I'm on the job.
I love Nueras. Every time you need something, he's there for you.
You worried about Lady Junah? Actually asking this time, not just prodding.
Shut up.
Tell. You still don't trust them, do you?
How can I? We've only known them for a matter of days. Look, the whole Gladell mess. You really think they're innocent?
Then let's go with them, yeah? Me and you. You do whatever makes sense to you, Del. You know I'll follow wherever you go.
You never could keep your mouth shut, eh?
So we're outside our gauntlet runner now. Well, sea runner, more like.
What the?
Wait a second. You're not saying this thing can sail now?
Quite right. While you lot were hobnobbing at old Luis's soiree, I had his runner all to myself. And believe you me, I got quite an eyeful. Came away full of ideas. After all, this old girl wasn't designed as a land runner alone. All about modular design, don't you know? Flexible jointage. So I did a bit of tinkering.
But why? We'd not even spoken of the island until moments ago.
Island Schmeiland, milady. Look at the map. What's our shortest route to Montario, eh? A straight shot through the inland sea.
Huh. The man has a point. That never dawned on me.
Besides, I've kept my ears open, what? Here there be monsters and all that rot. You'll need more than a ship for these waters. You'll need a proper sea runner.
Oh, right! Nueras, you weren't at the exhibition, so you wouldn't know. Forden already killed the big sea monster out there. It had a huge head.
Really? Don't tell me you're making the trip in that.
Oh,
Why are you two here?
Del and Basilio just showed up.
Bodyguard duty, Lady Junah. We're along for the ride, especially since you're bound for some remote wild island.
These poor newcomers are working so hard and you still can't trust them. Or is it me you don't trust?
We're here on Master Luis's orders. I'm sure I don't have to outline the pecking order there. Or do you have a problem with us being around?
Rather. We're running short on beds.
Oh, don't worry. Del doesn't take up as much space as me.
Oh, Belto. Besides, you really expect this rust bucket to survive a night at sea?
If you don't like it, leave. Nobody's forcing you to come.
Looks like we're crewmates then. Not unlike a sea voyage for a bit of fun, yeah?
This is a fine mess. Wasn't expecting them along. What do you think their angle is?
They guard Junah, they still suspect us, they're bigots.
They probably still suspect us.
I agree. We definitely crossed a line with the whole Gladel incident.
Suppose that's that, eh? I'll do a last check on her amphibials, make sure she's shipshape. Give me a shout when you're ready.
Well met, eh?
We're just gonna head out. Actually, if I can find more.
Let's go.
Talk to him. I think he hangs out. Yep, here we go. He's on a bench in the square in front of all the fancy hotels we couldn't stay at before. So we sit on a bench and we read our book that takes us to academia.
Would you look at this?
It seems you've another new ally, and this time quite the unexpected character at that. Your ally's awakening has revealed a new archetype called the Masked Dancer. It holds the power both unique and interesting. I prepared the special experiments option to enhance its potential to the highest level. Should you desire to hear more, I have a lecture prepared for you if you'd like to listen by
Would you look at this?
Since the power of a new archetype, you come and speak to me again. So we're going to talk to him now.
You don't say.
You studied for quite a number of archetypes. You may be the most adept research partner I've ever had.
Incredible.
We got some imagination points and some archetype EXP items.
Did I?
Just no, impossible to say. Are you all right? Moore's grabbing his head like he's got a headache.
Not quite.
Nothing. I just recalled some memories that are slightly unpleasant.
What?
Unpleasant memories? A memory of long ago, my time with a trusted comrade and his eventual betrayal, though I cannot even recall his face. I had a deep trust in him, so the wounds on my heart were equally so. It seems I never had an eye for people. I can say, don't let it bother you, but you do. But you do.
It'll be fine.
You do, Indeed. Should I deny my better judgment now, it would cast doubt on you as well. As that is the last thing I want.
I must apologize.
I'm sorry. I find myself thinking circles so often. The kernels of doubt so easily grow to overshadow my mind entirely. For example, I believed I was conducting this research in my own volition. The truth. Lately, I have felt that my research might actually be by another's will. I only labored under their guidance. I was so happy to imagine my memories restored, but now I wonder if some things are better left forgotten. And I can say, where is this coming from? Don't give in or I won't betray you. I'll say, don't give in. Don't let yourself bitter to fear. A fair point. Life is full of both good and bad. My apologies. Didn't mean to let any bitterness slip out. Perhaps because I'm so unused to it these days, but I do so struggle with conversation. You are truly too kind to me. Thank you for being here. It means more than I can say. I can sense Moore's gratitude, trust, and dependence. Rank 5.
Often I find your words resounding in me.
Increases the Seeker's
Well
soul
then.
spot. Mental weariness aside, we have further work to do. Your next task is to cultivate the hero embodiment of the commander, the general. I'm sure this will provide a fine source of power, as well as further increase your royal virtues. Worth it.
This one's important.
Which is actually good because Stroll's is going to be working on that one, so we should be able to get that one done fairly quickly. So the special experiments will let us create masks for Junah's masked dancer job, though we can give that job to other characters as well. And what that does is that will let her get, it'll let her use skills from all those stuff. Unfortunately, all I can create now is Knight and Thief, and Junah's all magic. So if you want her to use a masked dancer with those, you'd pick a different character that had more physical traits. So I'm gonna build mage jobs with Junah first, and then give her masks from those as well, from other magic-based jobs. So let's see.
What now?
A new power to wield.
Alright, and that will let me get... Okay, so I just leveled up Stroll's commander to level 20. Which lets me
Fascinating.
get
This right. All right.
unlock General.
I'm counting. Of course.
General has Megiddo, which is an AoE almighty attack. I think it's magic based, so I might actually want to level up General with. Alright. Oops, sorry, I skipped all the dialogue there. So the general is a support class. Let's see how much what I can do with general here.
Right. I could get used to this.
So it'll level.
A new ability.
Alright. So we gave Junah the health incense.
Oh.
You'll go back to reality. Alright, so we're going to gotta head to the Merchant's Bazaar, and then we're gonna get on the ship.
Young man.
Wonderful.
So we see the King's Rock there.
Now what am I to do?
And we go down here. And Nueras is waiting for us at the docks. So we are going. I just got a hold of a chart with the route. We're all set for a trip to Verga Island. Now let's set sail for new lands. So we've got our camps are on islands. We're gonna camp 3
Verga
times
Island
before we
is this
release
spot right
Verga
here.
Island.
Wonder how
Verga
many
Island
days
is-
away it is.
So basically, there's an inland sea because there, in the continent, because the continent is like the southern portion of the continent is a crescent shape, and inside the crescent is a huge sea, a bunch of small islands, and then there's 2 large islands. In the southern,
This
the more
place
southern.
This place here.
Island has the town that the Mustari culture is based in, and we're gonna head there. So we're just gonna go along a chain of islands to get there. So we're gonna island hop, and we're gonna pass through 3 islands in kind of like a. We're gonna go south of the island and then come back up north because the seas in the middle are kind of rough, and there's not really islands for us to stop at that are hospitable. So the region's currents are a right pain. We must go around the island, and then across, lest them carry us off course. By my reckoning, it'll take us 4 days and 3 nights, give or take. 3 nights at sea, huh? I hope Stroll can handle it. With Junah and her 2 thorns on our side, pensions may be high. Well, nothing to do but move forward. Jolly good. Rest assured, I'll get us through these waves to Verga Island, gentle as can be. So now we got a cutscene. We're out at sea. The runner's swimming along.
Tis actually moving. A fine effort.
Was it ever in doubt? You're the master of the helm, my dear.
Verga Island, eh? Well, I can say it's wholly foreign to me.
Tis a land within an archipelago where many Mustari live. I've heard their faith involves a special maiden of some kind.
How have they managed to avoid the church's influence? I doubt they've the manpower or arms to fend off the crown theocracy.
There's something there that could overturn history, as the Sanctists tell it. Something so damning they couldn't even afford their soldiers seeing it. So the rumors say, at least. Might just be a conspiracy theory.
As for this dragon god's lance, we shall need to negotiate.
If negotiations are even on the table.
Ugh, why all the fuss? Just kill them and take it.
Nothing else works, yeah? Keep it simple.
It's always kill, kill, kill with you 2.
Nay, Lord Luis's orders. Don't need to tell you, do I?
Yet you'd impugn Count Luis's reputation with wanton massacre. Simple, was it?
Ugh, give it a rest. Are we there yet?
Hard to talk strategy with those 2 hanging around.
They're all out on the deck, by the way. They're not inside the runner. But we can see the waves of the sea all around us.
Ladies and gentlemen, feast your ears on this!
Another update from Batlin. He's talking to the crowd in Brylehaven.
Across the channel to the island on a gauntlet runner too.
Is he all right? They say the waters are clear amongst us now, but
if he made it, that means my husband can go out fishing again, doesn't it?
I have to say, I expected at least one daredevil to try plowing straight through the inner sea, but I never thought it'd be that boy.
That's the same lad who exposed that lady from Martira, isn't it? He's not bad.
But Verga Island's infamous people, treacherous. Even the crown theocracy struggled with them for years. So how will this shake out? The festivities have just begun.
The gauntlet runner takes to the water in its new form, setting out to the wide open sea. Their destination, Verga Island, an enigmatic foreign land that not even the long arm of Sanctism can reach. Not all present now would count themselves as allies. Will this prove difficult, or something else entirely?
Nueras speaking.
Nueras' voice is echoing out of the runner phone. Heismay's got his fishing gear laid out on deck. If you've been keen on learning, ask him. Can't promise I'll stop if you slip overboard, though, so be careful. Well, let's see. Heismay can sometimes leave fishing gear on deck, which you can use to fish. Any fish you catch can be used as ingredients. 3 days until we arrive. Having Junah and those brothers around certainly has made the gauntlet runner livelier. So I can play a game. Stroll's got his head down. I thought I'd finally gotten used to the runner's motion, but waves are a holy beast. I'd rather not look pathetic in front of those two brothers, but I'm afraid there's no helping it now. So I can read top secret poetry, do not read. Bold block letters span on the cover, do not read in all caps. Something tells me this is Junah's creative journal. I haven't read it yet. Probably something Junah wrote herself. It says not to read it, but doesn't that make you just want to look inside even more? If I read the book, I'll gain more courage. Should I always spend some time reading this book? I'll say let's read the book. Clusters of cryptic phrases and abstract drawings fill the pages. Was this written in some sort of trance? The difference between the moonlight and the starlight, the difference between me and you, the difference between love and romance. Inquiries like these flood the pages. I don't know why, but reading through this has got me in a cold sweat. Shivers are running down my spine. Well, we can certainly say the artistic expression is serious business for Junah. I feel like glimpsing Junah's raw creative passion has increased my courage. And I got 5 courage points that time. You will notice as we go along, we're getting more and more points when we do these activities too.
Off the water's surface, the gauntlet runner reaches the shore. Lurking below the surface, in the black and fathomless deep, are the eager eyes of predatory hunters. But the party, safe inside their gauntlet runner, relaxes from the burdens of their voyage, gazing out over calm waters.
So we're in the shoal camp, so we're on some kind of small little island. We'll arrive 3 days from now. We're being watched, so be careful what you say. Alright, so we've got imagination points we can get with everyone. So we'll talk to Junah, because we just got her in our team to see what she has to say. Oh, the brothers are here too, we can talk to them. Nueras is laying out on the thing. I don't anticipate any monster attacks like we said on land, but you never know. I'd best to keep emergency lights on just in case. But let's be honest, no run-of-the-mill monster could possibly capsize my sea render. We got the brothers as well.
Got it.
If you think I'm going to take my eyes off you just because it's past sundown, think again. That's what Dell said. You want to try something? Go ahead. See what happens. Count Louise won't be asking me to justify myself. We clear, and then let's see what Baz has to say. I admit, I was half thinking this dinky little gauntlet runner was gonna sink any second, but it's a decent job running today. And out of all the candidates runners, this one's pretty fast for what it is, yeah? Not that I'd have set foot on it without Lady Junah being here. Alright, now we'll talk to Junah.
Oh, my.
I'm so bored, and I'm just not in the mood to sing. It sure would be nice to have someone to talk to. By recalling my past and planning my future with Junah, maybe we can increase my imagination, so I'll talk. So now we're inside the table, just like with everyone else we do this exercise with. So now we have to find the Mustari tribe's divine relic. Isn't that fabulous? Isn't that fabulous? Calling this an absurd demand would be an understatement. But I must admit, if we can't handle this, then Luis will never acknowledge us. We absolutely must succeed. I can say, let's do this. We can do it with you, or I can't shake myself. Let's do this.
All right.
Let's get out there and do some relic. Aren't you the happy warrior? So enthusiastic in the face of long odds. I'm glad we're on the same page there. I'm just happy to have this opportunity to fight alongside you. Living under Luis's foot was a lonely place to be, you know? I've held my ground thus far, though if I'm honest, I was scared the whole time. I had to talk myself into keeping the stiff upper lip, so to say. But being past that, I feel more hope than I ever have. I'm not alone anymore, and I have faith that we'll save the prince. I felt my imagination increase as Junah and I talked about things to come.
All right.
We got... Staying up late is terrible for your skin, but seeing as we're already at it, why don't we stay up a bit longer? Junah and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
August 15th.
Oh, goodness.
This mugginess is my worst enemy. I don't mind the ocean, but being at sea makes my hair 10 times harder to manage.
Sure.
I know exactly what you mean. The salty air makes it so much worse. Hey, Hulkenberg, what do you do with your hair at sea? I find that the sweat built up by winging a weapon quickly relieves one's... One of the concerns over such trifling matters. Speaking of, would you care to spar, Junah? Oh, I don't think so. I'm quite the wrong person for that, in fact. But I tell you what, if I find anyone to help calm out these knots, I'll see if I can find you a sparring partner. Right. 2 more days until we... They say the island is barbaric, in quotes, but I wonder what it will really be like. Hulkenberg and Dell are playing a game. I'll just read more of Junah's book. Let's read the book. Clusters of cryptic phrases and abstract drawings fill the pages. What was written was this written in some sort? A whole section has been struck by 2 thick lines. A few words scribbled next to it. My very soul screams. Is this her handwriting? Flipping to the next page reveals a swarm of characters and symbols I've never seen before. Is this a language only Junah knows? Well, we certainly can say the artistic expression is serious business. Really glimpsing Junah's raw creative passion.
Now then.
Courage leveled up to level 4.
Courage
is one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If thou art inspired a true sovereignty, kindle the flame of thy courage and ignite the heart of the people. A conqueror needs that precious kindling with a follower's passion to be inflamed. There's still more time left to read this book. I'll pick it up from here next time.
Come look at this!
Ahoy, you lot aren't going to believe the view I'm seeing outside. I'm hitting the brakes.
The gauntlet runner halts at a sandy hollow that suddenly arises from the sea. The towering seawall. It is not an island or a reef, but a mass of sand expanding below sea level. There is no sign of a water flow. There are many places in Oceania where the laws of nature fail, but here it is especially evident. The surface drops as though it were gouged out. Still, best not to be distracted by the spectacular. Monsters roam the deep, and tales of people being dragged below are not uncommon.
So we're stopping at one of these picture sites here. The towering seawall.
Incredible!
Wow, the sea's been split in 2 and we're standing on the seafloor. So they're standing on like an island of sand here. And then right in front of them, it's like the water's about to crash down on them, but it doesn't. So it's like there's some kind of like weird barrier that's allowing the water to go higher and then without crashing down over the island.
Well,
that's what magma anomalies are capable of. It's the same principle that maintains the water sphere in Brylehaven. But by Jove, this was on a whole other level entirely. Dell, you sure about this? This water ain't about to come down on us. Okay, you can't swim? Don't you know how to swim, Basilio? Listen to me, mate. You best keep your nose out of places where it doesn't belong, Dell says. Look, there's fish swimming in the wall of water. I've never seen such shiny fish. Huh? That's a tuna. Hulkenberg, what are you doing? You're not thinking of spear fishing through the seawall, are you? I was merely considering how I would secure today's allotment of rations. She'd eat these weird-looking fish without a second thought. I suspect the weird luminescence is a defense mechanism. They gather together in the depths and shine to ward off predators. So weaklings that they are, they travel together in a group. Who does that remind you of? Unless you sling bobs at every opportunity, it's exhausting. Besides, it's only natural for those lower on the food chain to seek advantages that compensate for weakness. I say, those shining scales would work as excellent dyes. Hulkenberg, my girl, be sure to catch some extra. I'll need a few specimens. As you wish. I shall catch enough that we should all time well. I would rather you didn't, Ismay says. The supplies we receive in town are more than meet our needs. Besides, the sky looks ominous. The storm likely approaches.
I see.
I see. If that's the consensus, then let us head back. I feel not the least bit of regret. I assure you. He's got a point. The seawall might even collapse in the rain. I'd rather not stay to find out. Catching a sight of the unexpected view has broadened my...
All right.
Always nice to get those free wisdom points from these moments. And here you go, lad, a drawing for the seawall. I made sure that the glowing fish were depicted as true to life as my hand allows. I decided to keep it as a souvenir of our journey.
As the water sparkling in the setting sun begins to lose the light shimmer, the gauntlet runner reaches the calm surface of the reef. Yet the day draws to an end, and all are left to wonder how to spend the evening hours.
What terrible rain. It will be a storm soon enough. Can this vessel withstand it?
He's doing better than me, at least. Suppose we do owe Forden, if only because he handled that sea monster. Closure, etc.
Did we hit a rock out there or something? Back in a mo. I'll go sneak a look outside.
Those fool brothers are still abed, even in this tempest. Bloody Parapus. Almost makes one envy them.
Right, I heard. You aren't too fond of the Parapus. They both had horrible upbringings, those two. But they really do have kind hearts behind the glares. They've risked their lives for mine countless times. One time, I asked what I could do to repay them, and they came over all red-faced. We'd like to hear you sing, Lady Junah. Your voice is awful pretty, Lady Junah.
Is this a joke to you? You think an outcast UGF is in no position to speak ill of the Parapus?
What? No, I didn't mean...
Bloody hell, how does anyone sleep on this old bucket? You feel that shaking earlier? Huh? Could cut the air in here with a knife. What were you two on about?
About how we'll get that layout.
Oh, conspiring while we're asleep, eh?
We don't have to keep dancing around it, do we, Del? Why can't we be straight with him? Just come out with it, yeah? Tell him you still ain't sure that stuff with Glodell was on the level.
If even we're suspicious, there's no way Lord Luis hasn't worked it out already. Not that it matters to me, anyway. Still, I had to make sure, see for myself whether Lady Junah is on our side or not.
Come on, you two.
Something's out there! Look outside! It's a monster! A great briny beast! Everyone to the deck! Quick!
Oh. Power just went out, so the emergency power's on.
Our prep.
Head to the deck once you're prepped, which basically means there's a boss fight immediately coming up, so... she can't really inherit any skills, but I give her some decent equipment. So we're just gonna head on up. So, got our animated scene. We come out, we got all these octopus tentacles swirling about. And they grab onto the boat. They go to grab Junah. Del knocks her over, but he gets grabbed. Will grabs onto Del to keep him from getting pulled under.
It's supposed to be you helping those in need. Right, Del!
Cilio pulls out his axe and he cuts the tentacle, saving Del.
You alright, Del? You realize this changes nothing. We're still...
body of the beast comes out of the water.
Is that a human?
Don't charge straight at it. We've got the arms. We'll clear him out of the way.
Got it. If we don't kill the thing, we're all sunk.
Don't get used to it.
Yeah! Come on over there!
Now's our chance!
Our character runs forth and...
We'll slice up some more of the bastard's legs, stick to the body, and take out what limbs you can. I don't know about you, but I'm not dying today. Let's get this over with.
If this keeps up, the runner's wrecked. Can we get those giant legs off us?
To switch out party members during battle, press L1 to access the order view and select party. Switching members consumes 1 turn icon. Alright, so this is the Sea Horror Homo Sabara. And the head is... It's like a human head, and it's got a large black beard, you know, this is like a sea monster, so like Blackbeard the pirate. One of its eyes is gold, one of its eyes is like a pearly white.
Don't underestimate me.
It looks like there's like a human heart growing out of its head, where its hair should be, and then it's got a bunch of octopus tentacles that all have like various jewelry.
I call upon a royal soul!
Right as power. Legs.
You're here?
I call upon royal power within! Hack and slash!
Stroll fortune.
Right on target! Nice one, Stroll! Blade retracted! That should make things a little easier on us! This is just what I need! Howling system!
Alright, we took most of its legs out. Lost all of its legs. So it slams down. Random strike. So
Are you prepared? I'll cut you down!
Let justice prevail!
Hulkenberg got them
weak to
right.
lightning.
Upon a royal soul!
We'll just use the wind attacks that Junah has from the Seeker Mask, because her normal best attack is Fire Element. Gained 4 turn icons. So it used as the bosses go on through the game, they'll use spells that'll give them increasingly more turn icons. You know, it started off with just 1 or 2. Well, somehow Hulkenberg dodged the attack. That's pretty impressive. But
Swordmaster!
This boss is toast. Took it out. This is a fairly weak boss, and it sinks into the sea.
I admit, it feels good to get stronger.
Ha! I have never known such heights.
Even I had more to learn.
Tremble before me!
We overcame it somehow.
I can't believe this! There are still monsters out here! Forden lied! He lied to everybody!
Either he lied, or he didn't know. Maybe the humans are spreading faster than anyone expected.
Oh, first time we've seen you lot really cut loose. That sure was magic, even with no igniters. Guess that's the kind of power that kills humans.
And you can do it too, Lady Junah.
Well, I picked it up from him. You know I've a knack for improvising, love. But we'd never have gotten through this without you two helping us. Thank you.
Of course, my lady.
You too, Fidelio.
Don't mention it. Wouldn't have survived otherwise.
Wait, something's amiss. I still hear water flowing, but it's coming from inside the runner.
Blast! We're dipping awfully low. Getting a bit soggy in here, chums.
Hold on, we're sinking. You've got to be kidding.
Bail the water! You two, help us!
What? You can't just order us... Oh, this bloody rust bucket.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
That was a long day, I'm glad that we lived to see another morning. I'm very happy that we survived and are still afloat, but after bailing all that water out, it seemed my poor back was a casualty of cancer. You really came through in a pinch, I must say. It's all thanks to you that my dear girl is well and safe. We must repay all those old bones of yours for their sterling service. Too true. Maybe a day off will get those brothers to lighten up a bit, too. So how about it, darling? Let's take the day to just relax and watch the ocean. Should arrive at the island. We managed to defeat the monster, so why not thank everyone for their efforts? Times like this, people tend to open up. Oh, have you been there the whole time? Feel like listening to singing? Good timing. There was something I wanted to talk about. Even more in despair. He just seems to be particularly high spirits, though. Maybe we can have a genuine conversation. I'm going to say gladly, but before I do that, I'm just going to comment on Heisme. You know, what makes all these characters amazing is that even though they're great characters and we like all of them, they all also have flaws. They're not perfect characters. Heisme is a great character. He's really insightful, he's wise, he's experienced, but he holds a grudge against the Parappas for how they murdered his son, and that leads him at times to be that can lead him at times to say things that, you know, are racist. And, you know, seeing how he grapples with that is part of what makes his character great. You know, he's a great mentor for Will, because, you know, he's an experienced guy, but, you know, he's got his own flaws too. You know, all the characters do. You know, Will's a great guy, really nice dude, but he can be really naive at times, you know? You know, and the other characters all have their flaws too. And I think that's what makes this cast so amazing, is that all the heroes are great, but they're also struggling with their own struggles personally, whether that's prejudices or just serious character flaws or arrogance or whatever it may be. And, you know, seeing how they overcome their flaws through their storylines as you do all their companion quests, I think is part of what makes this game so great. And we haven't finished Heisme's quest yet, so we haven't really seen how, you know, whether he fully comes to grips with the, you know, with his grudge or not at this point. But clearly he's not there yet. Junah seems to be particularly high spirits now. Maybe we can have a genuine conversation. So thanks. Thank you. Go on and have a seat.
The truth is,
I wanted to talk to you about the Magnus Brothers. Don't worry, I sent them off on errands so they won't catch a word of this. Anyway, in regards to our dear Fidelio yesterday, I do have to thank you for saving him, and I'm so very sorry they accompanied us to Verga Island.
well,
I know they both jump at Luis's command, but they really are good lads, a bit sensitive perhaps. I can say they sure are fond. Got it. Well, they seem pretty attached to you, Junah. Oh, well, yes, they're rather fond of me, I suppose, or my songs at least. And I do owe them a debt of gratitude for escorting me around and keeping Luis's men at a safe distance. On the other hand, I don't think it's wise to trust them completely. Do you remember their suspicions about what transpired with Claudel? If I'm not careful, I could compromise the whole mission. And I think it's about time I stopped being so naive. Deep down, I knew they would eventually become an obstacle.
Hey!
But this just exhausting. How about you sing me a solo lullaby to calm me down? I'd say, hope you like warbling.
Leave it to me.
Okay, don't mind if you want to cover your ears. So sing something for you. I vowed to remember it in one day. All of us. Let me say, for whatever reason, when I'm here with you, well, I feel like I can just be myself. Sorry, my eyes are just so heavy. Junah fell asleep. Wait, did I fall asleep and you stayed there this whole time? So I can say, well, yeah, it hasn't been long. Do you feel better now? You feel better. Wonderful. I even believe I dreamed, and it's been quite a while since that happened.
Look at this!
Oh, right, here. I've been meaning to give you this, but I kept slipping my mind. An Eon Pearl Ring, so it's like some kind of accessory. This is a charm I brought before we left Bile Island. Pearls come from oysters, and they take a long time to form. That's why they symbolize growth and prosperity. I bought it for myself, but it's too big. Besides, I think you'd put it to much better use in the show, so take it. Well, we'd better get back. I'm gone too long. I'm sure the Magnus Brothers will come.
Bye.
Once it gets dark, we'll have to prepare camp.
As the clear surface gives way to the glassy ink of darkness, the Gauntlet Runner reaches a remote island. The party gets a good night's rest, grateful for the still land that does not sway them at its whims.
Right, now we're in camp.
What to pick?
Arrivals tomorrow. We're finally done spending it. Now what's the Miguel has to say? We'll be hitting Verga Island tomorrow, yeah? Say that you want us to be useful and help, please. You better put in the work. Remember, we'll be watching. So we'll talk to Junah again. We can.
Oh my.
But if it will, I'm so bored and I'm just not in the mood to say much. It'd be nice to have someone to talk to. By recalling the past and planning for the future, I can work on my imagination. This Gauntlet Runner is such a mystery, isn't it? And in particular, so very intrigued by the igniter responsible for that teleportation magic. We happen to be in the middle of a covert operation, so we can't be too free with our words. But if we could, I think we'd cause quite a stir. Is the igniter that amazing? Let's sell it for a high price. Let's mass produce it.
Well then.
Let's produce it and mass sell it. I must say, you sound like the shrewdest sort of merchant when you say that, but I don't think that's something one can produce so easily. I studied it at the Mage Academy for a spell, and from what I can recall, teleportation with magic was deemed impossible. So something like this, in the same category as divine relics, frankly, I'm thankful that nobody believes in its existence, even if we use it to teleport to the city. But the technology already exists, so perhaps it can be mass-produced. Maybe one day each household will have their own teleportation again. I felt my imagination increase as Junah.
All right.
Staying up late is terrible for your skin, but seeing as we've already had it, why don't we chat a bit longer? Okay, zooms out.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
August 17th. Early morning.
Luis has sent an emissary to Verga Island.
As reported by a crier. It's the elder boy who brought Joanna to the judging.
So this is Ido and Forden at the Senate HQ.
So he stands with Luis then. No doubt he seeks Drakodios.
A gambit to steal the public's gaze, perhaps. Taking a prize from the only land beyond the church's reach. Laughable. The reason we leave those barbarians alone is that we've nothing to gain from them. Your Eminence?
Merely a passing thought.
Let him chase the lands. It changes nothing. With the dawn of Saints' Day, your Eminence's authority will be unshakable as the mountains.
As long as we tell the public that these divine relics truly originated in Sanctism, yes, that should do. The candidates gathered at the Saints' Day Festival will be under the protection of the King's magic. Some of them may use that as a shield to sow violence and discord.
I am aware, Your Eminence. Please, leave everything to your humble servant.
Oh-ho!
And so, our long sojourn at sea will come to an end today. This is Nueras. We should arrive around noontime, but we must make preparations to berth beforehand. Seems like the weather will be hot and humid. I'd like to hope we could just pop in, grab the lights, and pop back out, Junah says. I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish the same, but we'd best prepare for a long stay. This island is infamously insular and closed off. Our welcome will not be a warm one. Maybe I should take the nice cold shower before we arrive. We don't even know if there'll be real inns before us to stay in.
Narrowly escaping the threat of the sea monster, the party rides the currents of the inland sea to their destination, Verga Island. Verga is a word given to the island by the mainland, meaning uncivilized. but its inhabitants give this name no purchase. Put another way, we are trespassers from a country that has unilaterally regarded the islanders as heretics. To forget this is to invite pointless conflict, as though it knows it is unwelcome. The Gauntlet Runner glides silently onto the island's less populated rear shore.
So now we're in a jungle.
I can't take this heat. It's enough to cook a man alive.
All my air fur is stuck together.
Do we really have to go this way? There was a beautiful beach just over there.
Chin up now, milady. Easy to get a good backstab when you're coming up behind him, see?
There will be no stabbing, back or otherwise. Honestly.
It's at least true that coming at them head-on would only alarm them. First, we need to find out where this lance is.
You can bet the runner won't be spotted here, eh? Got the wide ocean on all sides. The old girl's not exactly unscathed from the beastie's clutches, so I'll stay back for a spot of repairs. Good luck on the lance hunt, what?
Who's there? Are you from the outside?
No, Will's got a voice in his head.
What's wrong?
I heard a voice, just my imagination. Very funny fellow said I heard a voice.
I thought I heard a voice.
A voice? Whose?
All that salt air gets your head. Our chances out here already aren't looking too good.
So, how do we find this lance?
Ideally, we blend in with the locals, gather information. But if they really are all Mustari, that might be a bit tricky. Let's see. To start with, we could try staying hidden and observing the village from afar.
Sounds like a right hustle. How many days would you have us playing hide and seek?
Fair point. How long can we actually stay on this island?
Well, given the deadline for arriving in Altabury, it would be best to get the lance and leave by September the 5th.
The sooner we're out of here, the better. Let's go.
Hey, does this place look familiar to you?
We may be a bit lost.
You're kidding! We can't afford to get lost on some godforsaken island! This is a disaster! Oh, I'm sweating through my outfit. And these weird bugs. I've had enough!
What I give for a snack and a cold tub to dump me head in.
Need you voice every little complaint? You are not the only ones enduring this trek.
Quiet a moment. Running water nearby. Sounds like an open space. Could be a natural spring of some kind.
What? Really? Let's head that way.
Phew. I suppose we might as well if we're lost.
So we head to the spring, and there's, nice waterfalls. Junah takes a drink from it.
It's drinkable. Much clearer than the capital's water, too.
Basilio jumps up and he
Oh,
dunks his head in there.
brilliant. I could use a dip to get the salt off me.
We got...
Who are you? Can you hear me? Then surely you must be a messenger of the dragon god.
Is something amiss?
I'm imagining things.
Our character walks over a bit and he sees a woman in the water,
Could it be
long
a
blonde
villager?
hair.
You must be the...
And she has 3 eyes. And then a bunch of Mustari
Let's go.
come out from behind some trees. Basilio and Del run off.
You're not of this island!
Wait, listen!
Seize them!
And they throw nets on our characters and capture all of them. Other than Basilio and Del. Baz and Del, who ran off. So now our
Behave
characters are in
yourselves.
jail.
Now, you're a candidate for the throne, are you not? He had to steal Drakodios, no doubt. And not content with that, you befouled the priestess's cleansing pool. We need hear nothing further. You shall all be executed.
Fastest trial I've had.
Calm down. First off, you can't kill a candidate. Have you not heard of the king's magic?
You beg for your life in vain, wretch.
Hail, I'm told the priestess is ready.
Accept your fate. You're not getting out either way.
Soldiers walk off.
What do we do now?
It seems the brothers have fled. Perhaps they've gone to report to Nueras.
I doubt it. Those thugs are here for the lance alone. They care nothing for us.
We can work with that. Can't return without the lance anyway. But I'd rather see if we can break ourselves out, instead of counting on them to save us.
By the way, anyone else find it strange that they recognized a candidate at a glance? I wasn't expecting news to travel this far.
Probably my fault, I'm afraid. They had a lot of questions, and they weren't gentle about asking.
Our characters are surprised. The camera pans over.
Well, fancy meeting you here.
Battle's also in jail with us. You're that crier.
You're that Sanctus crier.
I was hoping the word of the Crown Theocracy might be worth something here. Turns out, they prefer chains for questions.
But why are you here?
Why else? I heard some helpless, boneheaded twit of a candidate crossed the waters of Verga Island, so I naturally had to follow. I'd thought stowing away on that Mustari candidate ship might get me safely on the island, and, well.
And now who's the helpless twit? This is ridiculous! Why would a crier go to such lengths anyway?
Seemed as good an opportunity as any. I wanted a peek behind the Sanctus curtain, see what the truth really is. For now, we may as well be patient. You'll have your opening soon enough. The people here, well, you'll find they aren't as monolithic as they'd like.
So we can see now in the town.
Have you heard?
Town,
the Sanctus Church has ordered its adherents to seize all divine relics.
You've got large stone carvings with like people praying to like altars with like dragons and stuff
Those
on them.
zealots go too far. Surely this must be the reason for the dragon god's wrath.
Don't be alarmed, everyone. Please remain calm.
So it's a Denny, but he doesn't have his mask on anymore. He's got long shoulder-length blonde hair, and he's got earrings that are like triangles that have like, they're like gold and turquoise. And all the Mustari, what makes them stand out when you take off their mask is they've got a third eye in their forehead. So it's like mostly closed, but it's like a mystic eye. So if you've ever seen anything else with like the third eye, kind of, that's what this tribe is.
There are trespassers upon our island, from ships other than the trade vessels, but we have already captured them. Reportedly, one is a candidate, and one is a crier from the Sanctus Church. They seek Drakodios, the lance of the dragon god. Until now, the Church has hesitated to intrude in our homeland. We can only assume they are making their move.
I knew it. They think they're untouchable. No offense is beneath them.
That damned Fawn. He's not just after our relics. He would silence us forever.
Master Adeni, put them to death! Let us see justice served!
Wait. Our captives have done nothing to hurt any of the islanders.
Why do you hesitate? If they would pervert our dearest beliefs, then they deserve only to be sacrificed. Our livestock are all maddened by disease, our seas are infested with grotesque horrors, and now even our fields lie dead and fallow. The dragon god must be appeased, else we shall never survive his wrath. It has been our way since time immemorial. When disaster strikes, we offer a sacrifice to the dragon god that he might ease our woes. It is the most basic of our teachings.
So in this case, they're looking at this carving, and it's a bunch of people bowing down to an altar and praying, and on the altar there's like a woman, like a dead woman on the altar, and there's like a thing like from the sky coming down to grab her body.
Everyone calm down. All this talk of justice, of sacrifice.
So it's a clear image of some kind of sacrificial rite.
Master Adeni, would you see us repeat the tragedy of the past? With all respect, you abandoned your chase for the throne. You returned to your rightful home. Surely you have accepted that our traditions are the only way. Because of your indecision, because you faltered in your faith to the Dragon God, your father and mother both.
I will have silence.
Master Adeni, please. The sacrifice. We cannot simply suffer in silence.
My brother, do not fear.
It's the woman from the... It says young priestess. It's the woman from the cutscene in the spring. So she's got like a white robe with a bunch of different black circles on it, of different designs. She's got long blonde hair, in which the front part is braided down, and then the rest of it hangs loose in the back. And then she's got like a circlet that goes under right around her forehead and underneath her third eye. And since the Mustari are just like a, you know, an islander culture, they've kind of got like that suntan look on their skin that a lot of people who live in island countries have. So that's...
I have just purified myself for the spring. I'm ready to serve as our people's sacrifice.
Yufa.
I am a priestess. I have known from birth that my life's greatest impact would be as an offering to the Dragon God. Indeed, it brings me great pride. I can serve my village in a way the priestesses in times of peace could not. If our island might be saved, I will gladly give my life for it.
Oh, bless you, Priestess Yufa. We will not forget your sacrifice.
This will surely appease the Dragon God. You are our last hope. Priestess Yufa, our salvation, our future.
Prepare the ship. I will accompany her to the altar in the Dragon Temple, where Drakodios rests.
You catch that? The Dragon Temple. Sounds like that's where we'll find our lads.
I did a bit of reading on Verga Island once. Army reports say it's surrounded by an archipelago, otherwise uninhabited, and one of them islands is nothing but a massive temple.
Not another soul on them. Strange lot, these pagans. Gotta be bloody stupid to build your big important temple out where nobody can get to it.
Could be. Or maybe they weren't the ones who built it. Either way, we'll need a ship.
Sounds like we better hurry and bail our new crewmates out. All this stink in the square probably means less guards on duty.
Ugh.
Come on, Del, we can't leave him high and dry. The fair lady Junah likes him, don't she?
And the fair lady's the only one we have to rescue.
Awful cold, Del.
Not getting attached now, are you? You knew going in they might be our traitors. Look, you want to work together, then let me do the thinking, right? I've got all this under control. Oh.
Hey, Del, you're not still hurting from the sea battle, are you?
I'm fine. We'll wait till nightfall. Shadowy business, all this.
So our characters are sitting in the jail cell.
Lady Junah. Let's get those bindings off. Easy does it now.
And they're in the jail cell.
Calm down, you amateurs.
Oh, thanks. I'd hoped you'd come back for us.
We know where the lance is. Let's move.
Wait, aren't you going to untie the others?
We're your bodyguards, not theirs.
What? Since when do you follow orders to the letter?
I've already told you we can't trust these people, and now it's clear we can't even trust them to protect you.
He did a fine enough job saving your life out at sea.
Del!
He's one of us now. Lord Luis gave him direct personal orders, and you'd still leave him to die. I promised Lord Luis I'd keep an eye on him too. If you get him killed, I'm the one who's failed.
Hear, hear. 3 appropriately stealthy cheers for cooperation. And I'd be very much obliged if some generous spirit could get me untied too.
Ugh. Better to let a church leech rot. You're annoying, and you talk too much.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Funny thing though, I get more chatty the more distress I'm in, and I'm quite beside myself here.
We could just shut him up permanently.
No, Del. You don't want to leave a mess. If things get dicey, we've got some meat shields at the least, eh? Gonna need all the manpower we can get if we want that lance.
Is the lance somewhere dangerous?
Well, about that. Turns out this dragon god might be a bit more real than we thought. And more bent out of shape.
They're sacrificing some village lass to it, and the crowd was scared stiff besides. We can't rule out that this dragon's more than a folktale.
So we're to face a dragon? Well, that's just lovely. Untie everyone this instant. Or do you fancy better chances with fewer swords?
Oh, fine, I get it. Just give me a second. Oi, kid. Don't make me regret this.
So you won't make such a great team, or help make sure I'll say we make
Nice
such a
to be
great
back
team.
on the team.
You're completely mental, you know that. Just don't drag us down. Fine, just get over here and I'll let you loose. Oh, you're going last.
He said it to Batlin.
Considering the size of the island, there's only the one settlement. The chief's young, too, goes by Edeni or something.
Edeni? Was he not the Mustari candidate we met before? I'd no idea he was this island's ruler.
He and the sacrificial maiden are headed for the temple on one of the deserted islands. That's where we find the lance. Oh, and the girl marked for death is his sister.
His own sister?
Something about appeasing the dragon god's anger. All these islanders worship it, and they say the calamities come from its fury.
Is that true?
Course not. Just don't know whether all this superstition is rooted around an actual dragon or a made-up one.
Fair point. I'm curious about this Drakodios being a divine relic myself. If it was found in that temple, then the temple's probably an ancient ruin. Might be the perfect den for a dragon.
Should this creature exist, mortal sacrifice is beyond all reason. No torment is worth taking an innocent life for.
Oh, that's rich from a fallen knight. You think nobody makes sacrifices out there in the real world? Or is all that below you, eh? You ask me, I say at least these people are doing what needs to be done.
Huh, fair enough. Though it would seem beyond the pale, it is not our scale of morality that measures them.
Yet I refuse to stand idly by while innocent lives are at stake.
Who cares about what they do with their lives? We're here for the lance. Got enough problems without you trying to fix theirs.
These people offer up their very lives for peace. They'd only ever told me these lands were wild and uncivilized, but it's like seeing sanctism reflected in a mirror.
We'll get the spear, of course, but we won't let anyone die. That should be good enough. We've been saying it since the beginning. We help anyone in need, no exceptions. Right, my friend?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
That settles it.
Indeed. 'Tis the path we've chosen. Let us withdraw to the Sea Runner first. It shall bear us across the waters to this temple island.
Go on. Give them a chance.
Said that to Del. And Denny's And we encounter a Denny. He's got his helmet back on again, and he's like clearly not doing
help
well.
my sister.
Wait.
Please help my sister Yufa. The temple full of Magla.
Pull yourself together, man. He's barely breathing.
Did he just say Magla? I wonder what happened.
We need to get him to the Gauntlet Runner. No, tis too deep a wound for its capabilities. To the village, then.
What? Are you mad? You just broke yourselves out of that damn place.
We cannot leave him to die.
I don't understand you lot.
No, this could work out for us. He's the island's chief, right? If we save his life, the whole village might come around on us.
What are you talking about? We already know where the lance is. All we have to do now is take it.
And how about this? I'll follow him because I'm assigned to keep an eye on him. And you have to keep an eye on me. Because you're my bodyguards, right?
Fine. Be my guest. But if it comes down to you or the lance, you know I'll have to take the lance. Whatever happens, I can't trust anyone but my family. And my Lord Luis.
Well, Batlin, looks like you'll have to repay the favor a bit earlier than expected. Go tell Nueras what's going on. To be honest, it's possible we won't make it back.
Getting a bit messy, this. Not that I mind. Consider the favor returned. The Gauntlet Runner's just further down, right?
Right. We'll carry this man back to the village. Give me a hand.
So now we're in an inn in the village. And we laid a Denny down
Where
in
am
a
I?
bed.
Chief!
I'm still alive.
You're in one of my spare rooms at the inn.
You see, these people brought you here.
Wonders never cease. It's you. But you were being hunted. How did you manage to return safely?
Two of my companions acted as decoys to draw the soldiers away. That was all it took for us to sneak in.
Chief, what happened? Where is your sister?
We made it to the temple, but the air was thick with Magla. Some of the island's beasts have turned feral.
You mean the melancholia set in?
They made short work of our guards. Yufa and I were separated. I was the only one who fled to the sea.
My word. Then we need to gather more troops. If we don't act, the ritual...
No. Our soldiers cannot stand against those horrors. We'd only be sending more to their deaths.
But...
Then we can do the honors. We've our own reasons to see the lance. And such monsters do not frighten us. But there's something I need to ask you first. Assuming we find your sister, what would you have us do with her? Are we ensuring you complete the sacrificial ritual? Or are we bringing her back?
Please, bring her home. When we left for the Temple Island, I'd intended to let Yufa escape. But when I saw no fear or hesitation in her eyes, I faltered. That's when I realized. It's not just the fate of the island that we've placed on her shoulders. She's been trying to bear all our fears and anxieties. Her life is in your hands. Even if her sacrifice would save us, I don't care. Please, save her from the curse we've placed on her.
Well said. Spoken like a true leader. Leave it to us. I pledge we will see her safely returned. You've no objections, I trust, Captain?
Say no objections.
Yes. Let's get her back.
Right. We're not in the business of abandoning people.
Right. We'll save your sister. In return, though, would you be willing to lend us Drakodios?
So be it.
What? That is the very symbol of our faith.
If they've the strength to overcome the Templar's trials, then they could have already taken the lance for themselves. Yet still they seek permission. I trust them. It seems like they really do believe in what they say.
But they're not like us. They're outsiders.
It doesn't matter what tribe they are. They're people just like us. If the race on the mainland taught me anything, it's that.
Wait, it'll take more than a day to save her, right? Not to be morbid, but will your sister survive that long?
She knows those halls better than I do. If she's found a safe enough chamber, she can stay out of sight. And I made sure to bring food to the temple when we left. She could survive for even 4 weeks. Yufa is a priestess. She knows her life is too valuable to the ritual not to keep going. Your offenses will be pardoned. Anything you need, I'll try to provide. So please, save Yufa.
Well, glad we talked our way out of being thrown back in a cell. This place is rather cozy, especially compared to a prison.
To be free of the bugs is its own comfort.
Wait, weren't you staying in Broilhaven? What kind of rundown hovels do you board in?
Finally, we may come and go as we please. Even if we must bow to Luis's whim, we need not draw the same ire.
I know, right? But lifting the prince's curse will only be the beginning. The public has to recognize him as the rightful king too.
Considering the road ahead, it might do to help as many people as we can while we hunt the lance. And ideally, keep the other candidates in check too.
All done with negotiations, are you?
I don't know what we'd do without you. It's amazing how you can lead those guards on such a long chase and turn up none the worse for wear.
Ha! No one alive can catch a couple of platypus lads in the woods.
Our job's to get the lance. I assume that hasn't changed. Then nothing else matters.
Well then, let's lay out our situation. Our destination is the Dragon Temple, built on a nearby deserted island. Once there, we search the temple for the divine relic, Drakodios. And while we're in there, we'll also be looking for the village priestess, Yufa.
The hell we will. I thought we made it clear we were here for the lance.
According to Edeni, the lance's actual place in the temple is a close-guarded secret, known only to the priestess herself.
Never simple, is it?
We've got 2 problems to worry about. Firstly, by now, the temple's positively awash with melancholia. We should expect monsters, and lots of them. And secondly, there is a possibility that this dragon god of theirs is an actual living, and therefore angry, dragon.
Hope we don't have a battle like that ahead of us. But we'd better make sure we don't lose if we do.
And be quick about it, yeah? If you miss your deadline, Lord Luis will assume you're all traitors.
That puts our deadline in 17 days. Beyond that, we can't say if the priestess would survive.
Your pardon? You all, you're going to save Priestess Yufa?
Wouldn't have to if you hadn't sent her to die.
Yes, I know. You're exactly right. But you have to understand, not everyone here wanted sacrifice. To see a girl her age going willingly to die. She's as young as my own child. It's not right. So please.
We will see the girl safely home. You have our word.
It's a strange irony. We came only for the lance, but even that pursuit has earned us a chance to save a life.
Hardly familiar. You sought me intent on capture, and instead convinced me to join you. You have a knack for opening doors others have closed.
Well, let's get some rest for tomorrow. Getting lost in the wild and captured by soldiers really takes it out of you.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
August 18th. I wonder what kind of plays the dragon. Stock on what we need in the island first. When you're ready, we can go to Verga Island. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for joining us on our trip to the island and our initial run-in with the Mustari. In the next video, we will prepare to save Yufa and explore the temple and find out what this hidden history that the church is so afraid of really is. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and have a wonderful rest of your day.